Futurist Mindset Show with Sherwood Dairy. Hello, everyone. My name is Tessa, and I'm here to introduce you to Reagan Rodriguez. Reagan is a futurist who teaches stratosphere wealthy legacy families how to become impact investors. Hi, Reagan.
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Good.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to ask. Today's a unique. We're up really early. We've talked about this before.
We are. So as I answered before, I'm doing better than I deserve, and so is Mmoloki. And you're right, we don't always record at the same time since we are Bostona. Am I saying it right? Bostona in Africa? Estonia? Am I saying it right, Mmoloki?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're at a different hour, so it's dark 30 for us here in America. And it's good afternoon or good evening to you, is it, Mmoloki, around, right? So I'm glad you're able to join us. Why don't we just kind of do this? What I'd like to explain is that I like the way Botswana's dairy industry, because what they're doing is they're securing a lucrative investment opportunity. And what I liked about this when Mmoloki first went over this with me is just the high growth sector that's involved. In Botswana, it's currently dominated by imports. And I believe, if my memory serves me, told me that like 90%, 95% of the dairy products are sourced from South Africa. So what happens then is that local market, it's characterized by a few small scale dairy farms. And then what happens after that is then they will struggle to then compete with the imported products. Why? Because it's due to a limited production, right? So it's a very inconsistent quality. And so major South African brands, they've established kind of a strong presence. And by doing that, they're leveraging their extensive resources and establishing distribution networks. From there, Tessa, would you like to do a intro to Mmoloki as well, so that he can maybe go over, because there are problems in this industry, but then there are opportunities. So why don't I let you take it from here, Tessa?
Absolutely. Well, I have a couple questions for you,
Yes.
really. What's the problem you're solving for people, and how do you solve it? And why should people trust that you're the one to solve it?
Thank you so much, Tessa, and thank you, Reagan. You have covered almost the main aspect of the project. We do have a problem in Botswana.
Yes.
Like you have said, we are importing about 95% of milk from South Africa. The main challenge is that most of the farmers here, including ourselves, we've got a very small number of dairy cattle in Botswana. Secondly, most of the farmers, they don't have land. The third point, the feed costs for dairy, they're very, very extreme. They are very, very high.
Yes.
So most of the farmers, they don't afford, to buy the fees because of the high costs.
Yes.
We are bringing in Sherwood Dairy with more than 40 years combined expertise. And not only that, we are bringing the 40-year combined expertise, Reagan.
Yes.
We are coming with modern technology in the dairy farming industry. We are going to be using automated rotary systems. There's this company called GEA or GR. I believe it's a German-based company.
Yes.
They will be using automation rotaries. the reason why we are bringing this automation or modern technology is because we are looking at efficiency and as well as profitability in the dairy market.
It's good.
Above that, we are going to implement the best sustainable practices in the dairy industry, Reagan. We are aligning our practices along the Sustainable Development Goals, the Global Agenda 2030. I believe you are all aware of that.
Yeah.
One of them being sustainable environment, poverty eradication, and all that. We are going to implement a solar infrastructure system within the farm to reduce the utility costs, because electricity tariffs are very high here.
They are, yes.
We are also going to reduce the carbon footprint within the farm. The third aspect that will bring sustainable practice would be there's going to be a waste recycling system within the farm. So most of the manure will be recycled to produce energy within the farm. Thereby, we are going to reduce the cost within the farm. Those aspects, Reagan, most of the farmers currently, this is what they are going through. They are connected to the Botswana Power Corporation electricity grid. They are paying hefty charges at the end of the month on electricity costs. But we are coming with a different angle, Reagan. To put up a solar infrastructure system will cap the costs within the farm.
It will.
We are going to put, we are also going to put up, we are going to produce feed for our own dairy cattle. We've got 100 hectares that is reserved for fodder production. The reason why we are putting fodder production is that we need to take care of and manage the high cost of the feed that is currently escalating. So all these practices that we are putting in place, we are trying by all means that we come up with a cost-effective measure so that we manage our dairy production more profitably, Reagan. Other aspects that we are coming up with, Reagan, is to collaborate with the community. Currently, we've got the Tule Block Farmers Association. This association is bringing us, all the farmers around the Tule Block region, because Sherwood is, we are located in the Tule Block. So they are bringing all the farmers, they educate us on the best practices of farming. In this particular case being the dairy farming, they educate us. They explore opportunities for us in terms of the market, because we do have a very, very huge market in Botswana for the dairy production.
Yes, you do.
We've got chain stores, we've got the hospitality industry, we've got the tourism sector, like Tessa was saying. We've got, abundant wildlife in Botswana. Almost the southern part of Africa, there's a lot of abundant wildlife. So most of the tourists are coming here. So the hospitality industry is always fully packed. So that is one other area that we are also targeting in terms of the market. Our market is quite broad, Reagan. The demand is very high for milk, fresh milk, raw milk that is produced locally. Of course, we are competing with major brands from South Africa. One of the reasons why the Tule Block Farmers Association is there, recently we have closed the borders for the vegetables. Most of the vegetables
we're trying to do that in America, but we're not as good at that as you guys are in Africa. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we have closed borders from South Africa regarding vegetable production. Our carrots, our tomatoes, our oranges now we are procuring them locally. So this is one other way that it will happen. It will happen, and that is the right way to go. Again, these associations, they do help. We raise one voice as farmers, our Minister of Agriculture and His Excellency the President, this is what they want. They are at the forefront, in promoting the local production. Yes, we will definitely make it that way. Again, we'll close the borders. We will stop importing milk from South Africa. Most of the milk will be consumed locally, fresh from the cow, from the Sherwood dairy. Yeah, basically that is the brief summary of our project. Again, we are looking at modern technology. We are looking at the best sustainable practices within our farm. That is aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals.
Thank you. And you got it. It's Botswana. I always kind of butcher that word, right? I always want to read it out, and Botswana, it's Botswana. It's just simple.
Botswana.
That's right. And another thing before I kind of wrap up and I allow you to kind of show the pitch deck, when the person that referred Mmoloki and I, we were on a Zoom meeting together, and we're both calling each other by our first name, Mmoloki and I. And the person that referred us, Esma, said, I think you and Mmoloki have read the same book. So we start talking about how to win friends and influence people, and how it is important to call the person by the name versus saying, hey, you, right?
Right. Absolutely.
And the other thing is that I love about when I have an opportunity to talk to Mmoloki is he's always in a positive mood. He's got this positive attitude. And you hear me that when you ask me, how am I doing today? But we had already asked that before you introduced me, which is why you didn't ask me this morning. And I said, I'm doing better than I deserve. And Mmoloki changes it a little. Mmoloki, can you say how you answer if I ask you how you're doing?
I am more blessed than I deserve.
I love it. I love it. And I think it's great that he answers that because he's in Africa. Do you know why I respond that way, Mmoloki, when I say I'm doing better than I deserve? Because I say I didn't have a choice on where I was born, right? And I make the comment that I could have been born in a village in Africa and I wouldn't have clean water to drink. And so you get to see that. And what you're saying is you are even more blessed than the average, because I mean, you are a little bit above average than the average African, So let me wrap up with this that I want to mention. Actually, why don't we do this, Tessa?
Yes.
Will you show your screen?
Yes. To get to it, you can go to the portfolio page on Fifth Avenue Capitol and go to Sherwood Dairy, and then you can see the pitch deck or download it here and reach out to Reagan here, but I'm going to open the pitch deck for you so you can walk through it.
Just as a tip for all of you, when you're investigating a business, I got an email very early this morning from a surgeon I knew that invested in a startup, and I was like, why, right? Why did he? Or the wife had said, can you talk some sense into my husband? Well, here's something simple you can do, because I'm not going to talk sense into an arrogant surgeon. So why don't we do this? You start off with, what's the vision of the business? Is this just a lifestyle business? Is that just going to be for them? Is there a bigger vision? So Mmoloki did a really good job of explaining his vision in Botswana. Then let's go a little further, where he then talks about the challenge. See, the positive people don't talk about problems. If you're negative, you say, do you know what kind of problems we have? This is why I like working with Mmoloki. We don't have problems. We have challenges. You know what the good thing about a challenge is, Tessa? There's a solution.
There is.
So when you're investigating a business, yes, there's challenges, but does that business owner have a solution? And are they smart enough to realize that there's competition? I mentioned this last week, Tessa, that whenever someone says, nobody's doing this, nobody's heard of it, I'm the only one doing this. Oh my goodness. So no, there's got to be competition. And then there's got to be a plan around it. And now we get into the team. Some people like to focus on that at the beginning. Now we know who we're dealing with. Now let's talk about what are the milestones. Where are the milestones? Look at this. He's even going into 2027, 2030, right? Now, Tessa, you may not live to be that old, but you know, that was a really bad joke. I know.
Come on now.
I know. And so financials, then we get into the financials. And if you don't like what you see before that, let's not go any further, right? Right. Then he gets into the conclusion. And what he is, again, as he's saying right here, they're seeking 10 million. Do you want to, I think that we're good here. Yeah, I wanted to kind of conclude by mentioning that or my conclusion of Sherwood Dairy, that it's unique, right? It's uniquely positioned to capitalize on that significant market gap that we talked about. It offers high quality, local produced dairy products. It has a robust business plan, as I went over. Experienced leadership team that you got to see. And you saw that the way we put this, it's just a clear path towards profitability, as I shared. Then we get into the financials at the end. So do you see how Sherwood Dairy is poised for success? The investment represents not only a lucrative financial opportunity, but it's also a chance to make a meaningful impact on Botswana's economy and their community. So join us in pioneering a sustainable, profitable, and impactful venture that promises exceptional returns and has lasting positive change.
Thank you so much, Reagan. And if you haven't already, hit the bell. You can subscribe so you can find out more about the projects that we are featuring that are on Fifth Avenue Capital. You can also reach out to Reagan at Fifth Avenue Capital's website, 5THAAVC.com. And I'm excited to see how things go for you and for this project, because I think this is amazing. I'm a dairy lover, so I'm just happy.
Oh, are you really? I didn't know that about you.
Some people are, some people are not. I am. I think that I can't survive without my milk. So I'm excited that you're doing this, and stay tuned. You know, get on our list, subscribe so you can find out more, because this is Reagan's projects are making such a big impact in the world, and I just think that people need to know about it. So